Business Council and the great work that they have committed to. 4 years ago, they asked us to form the Lummi Sovereignty and Treaty Protection Office to address the problems that they're confronting with Cherry Point and the proposed coal port that was going to go there. They had 20 years of the corporation meeting with them, influencing them, trying to persuade them, and they didn't think it was right, so they formed our office. We looked at it, and one of the first things that we recommended was that you have to say no first. It has to be no. And so the Lummi Nation did say no, but everybody we talked to, everybody we went to, legally, politically, they're saying, oh no, the corporation's going to win. They got too much power. You can't stop the permit, and so we watched the corporation that violated federal law, state law, county law, and the traditional laws of the Lummi Nation, and was not once prosecuted. And they said, trust us, trust us. When we first went to the Army Corps of Engineers, they said if we didn't sign that memorandum of agreement, they would sign it for us. And they would take and repatriate our ancestors' bodies. And it's at that time we stood up and walked out. We thought it was unacceptable. We told them that you don't have the teachings, you don't have the laws, you don't have the culture to deal with our ancestors. And we're insulted by that, and we will protect our traditional village, and we will protect the cemeteries of our ancestors. One of the important things was coalition building. We know that we have to persuade both government, we have to persuade the people that are making choices. And we know it's not just our battle, it's your battle too. And so we did campaigns to reach out, to form alliances. And even at home people doubted that we're that we'd be successful. But the thing about these alliances is that when you look at the campaigns in front of us, we're in a state of war. We're in a battle to save the earth. We've been told that the corporations have the power, they have the money, and they have the politicians, and you cannot stop them. And they tell us that stuff to teach us to be afraid, to live in fear. They say the Patriot Act doesn't allow you to speak out anymore. Well, that's done to create fear, and we don't live in fear. No more fear, right? No more fear. Love. If you don't live in fear, then you can love the earth. Love. We love the earth, and that's a part of our culture. And I'm glad that our elders have always taught us to honor and respect the earth. It's a part of our culture. We're glad that the citizens groups and non-governmental organizations, environmental groups, citizens for protecting the rivers, the churches have all come forward, and they're all bringing people to these gatherings. This is a good show of force. But it has to get bigger. It has to get bigger. We went down and we worked with the people in Northern Cheyenne because they're going to have the biggest coal strip mine in the United States there. We brought a totem pole there, and Northern Cheyenne voted no against the coal. So Arch Coal went bankrupt and pulled out their permit application. They were going to go to the Port of Morrill on the Columbia River, and the governor of Oregon said no. No permit for the Port of Morrill. So now we look at all these campaigns that are taking place. We went down to the Yankton Sioux because Reuben George says you have to form a treaty with them. You have to form an alliance with them. We went down there and they had the Cowboy and Indian Alliance. We brought a totem pole down there to say that we're going to stand with you. They're fighting the Keystone Pipeline, and President Obama vetoed it. We're here to support you. We're here to support our allies up at Tsleil-Waututh. We went up to the Beaver Lake Cree with a totem pole and gave one to them. And their community was afraid of the corporations, the tar sands expansion. And their people reversed themselves and said, no, we're going to fight them. Not only that, they took the traditional people that greeted us and asked us to come up there and put them in power for their negotiations. So, through unity, when we walk in unity, when we go and let them know that you're not alone. You are not alone. We hear you. We feel you. We're with you. I was in a big conference in Vancouver, and Ta'a, the mother of Reuben George, she looked at all these people. There was twice as many as you that are here representing these environmental groups. And she said, the women are up front. The women are blockading. The women are marching. The girls are doing it. She said, where are you men? Where are you men? And she had tears in her eyes. And she said, stand up, you men. And they didn't stand up. She goes, what's wrong with you? You need to be with your women and your daughters. You got to walk with the grandmothers. Stand up, you men. And they didn't stand up. And she said, I'm telling you, warrior up! And so the men stood up. The men stood up. So we got to make sure that they continue to back the women, because this is about Mother Earth. It's about a spirit. It's about our mother. What are we going to do for our kids? What are we going to do for our kids? We're going to save the earth. We're going to continue. You know, I tell people that I was fortunate in '91 because I got to know Petra Kelly down in Mexico. We helped write a statement for the state of Mexico for Earth Summit. She formed the Green Party of Germany, and she was with Chernosenko, the retired generals for peace. And they said, if we're not Rio de Janeiro in '92, it's because they killed us, because we're standing up. And they were, quote, suicided. They committed suicide by shooting themselves in the back of the head. That was the ruling. They gave their life for the vision that all of us working together internationally can save the earth. So that's our goal, to save the earth. And we have to call out the churches. We don't, you know, they issued an apology in '87, '97, and 2007 for the damages they've done for Native Americans. It's not the apology, it's the action. Turn it into action. Make your words something. Pope Francis, I don't know if anybody read it, but Pope Francis did a great encyclical in May of 2015. It's great. We got to read it, but we got to take it to action. We want the Catholics to come out in force and show that they really love the earth. All Christians, all people have to come together. And so together we'll revive the spirit of the earth. We went down to heard the Sioux. They said the Missouri River is dying. The Columbia River is dying. The Fraser River is dying. The Athabascan River is dying. And we know there's a huge fire up in northern Alberta because they took all the water for the tar sands and couldn't put out the fires that are on their own homes. This is the future. We got to reverse it. My brother was on a bus and there was two Sioux kids. And he said, where are you from? They said, from a Sioux reservation. Where are you going? Seattle. Why are you leaving your reservation? They said, because you can light the water that comes out of your faucet. You can light it on fire. There's nothing for us there. This is what we're fighting against. And so we just want to extend on behalf of the Lummi Nation our love and appreciation for all the support of all of you. Because united, we'll continue to work and win. The Army Corps of Engineers said because of the Constitution, because of the treaty, because of the Supreme Court decisions, and because of your culture and spirituality, they decided in our favor and supported our fishermen. Haishka.